Bam. There's the little blue button. There's the Q on the top. And we are live Friday, 12:09 p.m. I am Mitch Camage. Today, I am your broker of certainty. And this is the Mitch Camage Coaching Virtual Business Box Lunch, March 11th of 2022. Woo! And I can even hear myself in my headphones. So I know we got there. Turn that off so I don't have to hear myself twice over. I already have to hear myself in my own head. And that is often enough of my voice to get me through the day. Anyway, my name is Mitch Camage. This is the MCC Virtual Business Box Lunch, where we talk about the week that was in business. And to do that, we bring really smart people in here to talk about the things that are affecting you on a small scale, local, regional scale, national, international, and why it's important to you in the small to medium business enterprise. The week that was in business is important. It's what we are living with right now. It affects our cash flow, it affects our sales, it affects our people, and of course has the impact on whether or not your business grows, shrinks, or dies. So we come every week hot and heavy to talk for 30, 45, 60 minutes and give you a dose of reality, hand-holding, a pat in the back, and more importantly, information so that you can make informed decisions. Now, as always, when we roll into this week, I can't do this by myself. I've got other people with me. I'm going to turn the floor over to them into a moment because without them, this doesn't happen every week with the live audience. And as you know, if you've been following along for 9 months, we're in season 2. The theme is, I figure out what we're going to talk about every week. I tell nobody, so they have no clue what's going on, and you get their answers in real time. So in the coming weeks, months, and years, by the way, all hail our robot overlords. When you get to see this, know that it is subject to the conditions in which we live right now as business and the economic landscape works. Yet these are the things that businesses consistently fail to do or do really well. And that's where these lessons come in. They're going to apply today. They're going to apply a year from now. They applied a year ago. So buckle up, get with that. Now, while I finish some button pushing, I'm going to turn the floor over to my brother from another mother, Matt. He'll start the intros, get everybody else to talk a little bit, and then we'll dive into our topic today. This one's cool. It's fun. It's more upbeat than whether or not inflation is killing us or class warfare. By the way, if we are talking class warfare today, I came prepared. Just saying. And no, I won't tell you what side of the fence I'm sitting on. That's called surprise. And with that, Matt, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Mitch. Matt Hewson, I work for Mitch and become those brokers of certainties in this uncertain time. We love working to help close the gap. You know, like I often say, we only know what we know. But if you find somebody that has done it before, has been there before, they get to help kind of create an outside optics or a lens that you can also look through to make sure that your business is being taken care of. And right now in this change management, change leadership environment that we're in, we love being a part of that because we love to see people succeed. Lorette, who are you?
Oh man, I've been working on my pitch deck. Let me tell you who I am. No, my name is Lorette Lee. I run Phoenix Career Development. We create careers, we clarify careers. And if you hate your career, come talk to me.
Nice. Love it. Yulia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yulia Krukshang, the founder of Epic Experiences. Epic Experiences is an e-commerce platform that specializes in unique experience gifts and adventure tours all across Canada. And we provide convenient shopping and gift-giving solution for all your personal and corporate needs.
Look at us, hey? Gordon, you're new to the room. Let's get you to introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for having me, guys. I'm Gordon McCallum. I work with Rapid Boost Marketing virtually. Rapid Boost is based out of Alberta, but I'm a BC boy, so I get all the expensive gas that you guys don't get out there.
Love it. I don't know, like from being in a province that helps produce like some of the, like we're what, the second or third largest oil repository, like it's above $2 a liter right now. So we're not quite in the BC realm, but pretty close. Yeah. Anyway, Mitch, are you good to go?
I got 2 more buttons to push. So Matt, just talk a little bit about some of the topics we've brought up in the past.
Oh, goodness. Class warfare, for sure. That's been kind of a topic. No, we typically talk about, again, supply chain. We talk about people. We talk about money. We talk about cash flow. We talk about all the things that as business owners, you may know, but you'd be surprised. And we help to create a much larger scope of interest and understanding of what is needed. And I think that it's so important in the world of today that you got to make money. You got to make money today. So if you're always, long-term planning, great, be a visionary, but you got to make money today and repeat that every single day in order to get to that long-term.
Fantastic. So the theme's coming up. It's showing up live right now. We already got a little bit of an audience, and they're going, all we're hearing is the people talk about themselves, not what we're doing. I'm going to drop the topic right now. I'm going to give you a second, Matt. I'm going to let you just see it a little bit because I've still got one or two more buttons to push here. We've talked inflation, class warfare. We've talked what's going on in supply chain. We're talking retail. We've talked commercial. We've talked industrial manufacturing. Where we sit in the world is both unique and very common for everybody from experience. Now we're going to bundle all that together because this is something that I want us to do probably twice a year. Here's our theme for the day. If you had to start a business right now, everybody's going, I'm running a business right now. I don't know what to do right now. What industry would it be in? So come up with an example. And what would be the basic steps or mechanics you have to go through? I want to educate people on how to actually get a business started today, right now. And in fact, if they follow along from end to end, that's right. Look what's there. If you had to start a business today, right now, what industry would you go into? And what's the stuff that are absolutes, must-haves, can't miss? And of course, Paul crops in just at the right time to hear what I'm talking about for the theme for the week. And he can still introduce himself while I finish the button pushing.
Coming in hot, just off of a meeting, Paul Fikowski with MCC Coaching, solving world problems, solving business owners' problems, and getting them focused on target, making money, and getting their time back. Woo!
You did it. I love it. So can I start on this? What business would I open right now? And you guys will smirk because you heard me say before, I would open up a van building business because everyone and their dog literally wants to live in a van or own a van so that they can be mobile. So I'm Chris Farley, and I'm going to make sure that you are living in a van down by a river. Paul, what do you think? What business would you open right now if you could start one today?
Anything that's green energy, solar. I'd be in solar power. Why? 3% of North America is in solar right now. Energy prices, where are they? Sky freaking high. What's a gas price right now? What are the taxes that are coming in on that? So it's about seeing where the opportunity in the marketplace is. If nobody's there, let's get to it.
Absolutely.
Matt, all right, you're trumping at the bit.
Well, I'm coming in the bit for sure, but I was trying to be polite. So no more politeness. So obviously I have my career development practitioner thing, and I got the theory practice choose your own adventure. So that already exists. That's a business I already have and I love. So I already have my dream business. My second business would actually be self-esteem coaching, or teaching people the steps. So teaching classes of self-esteem, because there's too much people that have shitty self-esteem. So I'd be a self-esteem coach to be confidence is key, and be yeah. So that's what I'd open as self-esteem classes.
Love it. Shannon, you just popped in. Why don't you give us a 30-second Cole's notes of who, what, when, where, and why, and then tell us if you were to open up a business today, what industry would it be in? But share with us who you are.
I am Shannon Berry. I'm co-owner of Mad Women VA, which is a virtual assistant company, and you can easily find us online if you don't know what that is. Let me see. What would I do? There's actually a couple of things I might do. I'm with Paul, but I think I would go more into the hydrogen, because hydrogen can be manufactured and there's going to be a much larger demand for it, especially in the vehicle industry, I think. The other thing that I would get into, the other secondary market that I'm seeing a huge potential in, is the Bitcoin and NFT markets. I would become an investor, a huge investor over on that side if I had the cash flow.
Love it. Thanks. Gordon, what industry would you be in?
Yeah, I think I would look at definitely software as a service or some kind of online business. On top of working for Rapid Boost as a business development person, I also own a beef jerky company, which is really fun, But let me tell you, making a product, a physical product every single week is a pretty big barrier to entry to scale and growth. And so I would definitely look at something that can scale and growth. Just something, I don't know exactly what, but I would look online that can scale and grow really rapidly with no like limits to manufacturing, basically.
Love it. Excellent. Excellent feedback. Yulia, how about you?
Like online business, I would stick with that. Like, but probably besides that, I would say some social enterprise. So that's something, find the cost and help either, I don't know, to through the business to, find the solution like for that cost, like raise money or whatever. So that's something, do some good,
Fantastic. All right, we're here. Let's do this. You got to start today. We've got an industry for a moment. You got to handle a certain number of things first. So I'll seed the pot, lay out the table, give some of the ideas first. Of course, you probably want to incorporate. You got to get a bank account. You got to put some other structure together. You got to be able to sell. You got to know who you're talking to, all these other great things. So there's some basics to work with to start with. You've decided what business you're going to start. What is day one today? It's Friday. And by the time it's Monday, that business is up and ready to run. You're ready to sell something. You're ready to promote a service. You're ready to do something else. Between now and Monday, what are the things that you got to take care of so your business can start to transact right away? What are the things and stuff that we got to put together to make sure that that business has a chance to work? Who's up?
Still chomping at the bit. I want to go first.
Nice.
Like I already. Okay, this thing is called the 4 block, and it's Mitch's ride or die. So like money, time, leadership, architecture. So you got to do that. But I would actually say if I was opening my company on Monday, what you need is your elevator pitch. You need your 30-second, this is what I do, this is how I do it. You need your unique selling propositions. Know what you're coming to the table with, right? And then you need your closing deal. How are you going to close the deal? How are you going to make money? So that's what I say. Also, not just one, but 2 business coaches. So have a business coach and have a career development practitioner to help you. You will be successful if you have 2 people on your side, mentor, mentee, get someone to coach you.
There we go. All right, who's next?
I can go next.
Yulia, go for it.
I would say online presence. You need to create all those Google profile, social media accounts in order to be found on social media or just in general online. So that just the visibility needs to be there. Well, I'm speaking like from the online business perspective, but it's in general nowadays for any business. So, and before you start approaching whatever your new clients, potential clients, that's something you need to establish that visibility first.
Gord, you were going to jump
I
in.
was going to say, I would figure out what I'm doing. So if I'm going back to software as a service, or if I have my offering, I would look at everything operationally that doesn't relate to it and outsource it. So I would outsource bookkeeping. I would outsource administration to a virtual assistant, or I would totally bring in a coach, but I would outsource everything I'm not an expert at so I can focus my time on what I'm offering.
Shab?
Well, in addition to what Lorette said, because you need to have all those things fundamentally anyway, every business owner should have those things in place. Essentially, I'm a list person. So I believe in the power of campaigns. That's why I'm a promoter, like, right? That's what I do. So I would make sure that not only am I building my online presence, but that I'm building that presence with an audience that actually cares about what I'm doing, that I'm bringing some value to, and that I can potentially do business with. So I'm going to go through LinkedIn and create my list of those potential people, reach out, making those connections. I'm going to reach out, start building those relationships. partners, whether they be like actual partners in the business or the people that you have around you that you can go to for advice, for resources, for, you know, whatever you need to support your business to be successful in your business. Those would be some of the absolute first things that I would make sure I have in place, as well as a very clear cut plan. I believe everybody here knows I don't actually have ADD or ADHD, but I don't do well with traditional business plans. So I love the lean canvas. I can make my sticky notes, put in my planning, move them around. The fact is, though, is that you need to have it. You need to write it down. It needs to be there. You need to have the focus and the vision, even if you're moving the sticky notes, because as we all know, business planning is fluid, but you need to have all those fundamental things and your lists, because if you don't know what you're doing, who you are, or who your audience is and how to reach them, then you kind of don't have a business.
Okay. Paul and Matt, bring it up the rear.
Yeah, I'll go. And actually, Shannon, I agree. So you need to understand your why. Absolutely. But just because I've incorporated a business today doesn't mean that I should open my business on Monday. You need to have a platform. You need to understand the fundamentals of what you're doing. You need to have an audience, but find ambassadors and make sure that they also understand your why and the product that you're selling or the service that you're selling. And from there, utilize that community around you so that you're not doing it by yourself. And again, Gord, it's similar to outsource. So if you think that you can do your books, you may be right, but I know that there's someone out there that can do it better in half the time, and it will allow you to be focused on your core cash business, drive sales, drive awareness, all those things.
So I'm going to interrupt you. No, I'm going to interrupt even though it's Paul's turn. So like, ignorance is bliss. Like there's lots of people in my industry that are employed, like career development practitioners. They're never going to open their own company, but they want to. So I have a lot of people in my industry that will never open a company. Just do it. Okay. Make mistakes. So Matt was like, oh, don't do it unless you have all your I's crossed, you know what I mean? But be okay with being confused. Ignorance is bliss. By the way, the entrepreneur, we all are crazy. Don't lie. Okay. So like, take the risk and do it, right? So that's actually why I wanted to interrupt, because like, don't be like, I need this, this, and this. Just do it, right? We always say that from what's his face. Just do it.
Yeah, and you know what, I agree with that. So to be clear, like, don't wait for the perfect moment, because it's never going to be perfect. But just make sure you have your, Mitch, you hit the button, right? Make sure you have your shit together, right? Like, you can't just go.
Oh, I always tick that box. Don't worry. We can say bad words on here. It's fine. You can say fuck. It's okay. It's fine.
Perfect. Here we go. Paul,
what up?
I think it revolves around a lot of things, but it's money. How much money do you have? What's your runway? You know, you can jump into your business, but you could be out of business in a month. You know, did you all of a sudden quit your job and think this is magically going to happen for you? You know, so, you know, maybe it's having still keeping your job and working your business. Maybe, you know, where is the money coming from to support while you grow? And we live in a society that's, you know, quick action, think it's going to happen right away. Yeah, it's going to take time. It's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of money. So you got to make sure that is all planned out.
All right, we're here. Now, this is the part where every week we show up, and this is the actual surprise for the panel today. Everybody's going, Mitch, this is a layup. We got a couple of marketing specialists on here. We got somebody that's running an entertainment experience business. We got some people that are old hats. We got career counselors. I got my boys, Paul and Matt, business coaches. So here's where I sandbag all you poor buggers at 12:28 on a Friday afternoon. Have you been writing notes about what you said? Because your closing suite at the end of the day, you're going to get 45 seconds to run through your business, your fast launch, 72 or 96 hours, and what your first 30 days is going to look like. Guess what I'm going to ask you next? What is your next 30 days supposed to look like in the business? What action steps are you taking first? What are you focused on? What are the 2 or 3 or 4 things are the only things you're doing so that you can get that first dollar in your pocket? What are you working on? What are you leaning into? And what are you getting after? Now, the themes come up here a little bit, and I'm really surprised. I thought for sure Matt and Paul on Friday afternoon, clearly it's been a long week because I haven't heard this once of you guys saying, let's fast start a business. I'm hearing we need to take our time and make sure our I's are dotted and T's crossed. That's a fool's errand. That's fool's gold. What I want to hear is move. Right, Matt, you've stopped saying pivot now after a year. So, you don't need to say pivot anymore, but move is the order of the day. And it is time to move. I'm telling you, I'm giving you carte blanche permission right now. Everybody doesn't have money. So, Paul, money's no excuse, right? I'm going to say next 30 days, you got to put your first buck in your pocket. We got to, okay, here's the business I'm going to start. Here's what I'm going to do between now and Monday, 72 hours from now. And here's what the next 30 days looks like. Again, we're road mapping something for people. Why? There's no excuses to not get started. I normally save this kind of soliloquy or, diatribe for later or to close out, but I'm going to bring it in right now. We've never had more incorporations and more business startups at any point in history than we have in the last 2 years. And the last 6 months is staggering. The number is ridiculously high for the number of people that started businesses. And guess what? They still commit the same problems over and over and over again. But if we start the right way, those problems don't come to get you, bite you in the ass, or you can actually get paid fairly quickly. So we got a business idea in mind. We got our first 72 hours. Now we're going to go first 30 days. What does that first 30 days look like? What are our major action steps? And we want to make sure we get paid between now and, well, it's March 11th. So that'd be April 10th. Between now and April 10th, you got to get paid, baby. You're rolling into the Easter weekend and you've been paid. Sound good? Sound fair? Let's go get paid 30 days. Because somebody, if you're watching this, go get paid.
Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Right. And Mitch, I agree. And I'm one of the biggest supporters of the statement of just move. However, you need to make sure that you have a map and a compass. Right now, I believe it was Mr. Proctor that once said the best way to find out you're going in the wrong direction is move in that direction and analyze. The challenge right now is, and I think Lorette will smirk to this, the fight or flight has turned into fight, flight, or freeze. And many people have analysis paralysis right now because so much change has happened. They have no idea still, even after 2 years. And like, I think today, like we can finally not wear masks, right? It's just, what's my playing field look like? And it's funny because yes, Mitch, I agree. But if you only look at short term and you see your sandbox, it's quite small. But if you have a map and compass, you can identify that sandbox is so much larger and you can help market penetration, market activation, and your customer base becomes 10 times, right? So you can, Mitch, 10X, something that you can do immediately. And
we're coming for you, Grant. We're coming for you,
Grant. Anyway, so that to me is pick up the phone. Don't be scared because again, 5 minutes ago, you didn't know them. Why do you care what they say 5 minutes from now? So get to it, get that done, and make sure that you know exactly what to say. It doesn't need to be refined. It's going to be bad before it's good, before it's great. Just stay the course.
Who's up next? Dumbfounded, stunned, silent.
If I
Shannon's
had
over
30
hands,
days,
like,
I'm right
in.
here. I'm right here. I
I'm
got this. Because I'm in that situation, right? We've shifted our business into completely digital space. So we've had to let go of a certain portion of revenue generation. So to me, it's about activation. So activating new relationships, reactivating relationships that I've let go. And I think all of us as business owners have lost touch with a lot of people over the last 2 years. We just haven't been intentional because it's just as time has gone on and on and on, we've gotten tired. We've gotten, and we've pulled back and we're not seeing the end of the tunnel. And so I think we've lost touch with each other a lot because it was so much harder to keep those relationships going when all we had was the digital space to do it in. So I'm rebuilding those email lists. No, I'm not putting them through a CRM because I don't want to deal with castle laws, right? I'm going to individually go through my list and every single person that I need to rekindle with, I'm sending them a personalized message and I'm going to reactivate those relationships. I'm going through my LinkedIn and I'm finding all those potential businesses that I can work with, whether it be white label or they just, need to hire my services outright. We're going to start forging those relationships. I am never going at it with, this is my first communication with you, or I haven't talked to you in 2 years, but here, buy my stuff. It's about the relationship built, right? So we're going to start doing that again. We're going to start instituting those automations that help us do that and do it more effectively and reach more people. We're going to build our online presence, and we are going to get, now that we can do it, we're going to get our butts outside of our doors and we're going to go meet people. We are going to get back into the networking. We are going to start having meetings. We're going to start meeting people, and we're going to keep doing the follow-up until somebody buys our services, until 10 somebody's buys our services, and grows and on and on. And that's how we're going to build this business.
All right, who's got next?
Keep it simple. Business is a game, play the game. So we always start at the beginning of the game, right? Name your baby. A company is a baby. You have now birthed something disgusting, but make it amazing, right? So name your company, then name yourself, right? So I am the CEO. I am the entrepreneur. I'm the president, right? Give yourself an ego stroke. You fucking did it. Register your company, right? Sole proprietor. $80 to own a company. Ta-da! You don't have to do anything. You just have to register a business. Sometimes it can be a numbered business. You have a business now for $80. So like, I went to Anderson Career Training Institute because I didn't know how to run an empire. I actually stalked someone who was running his own company for 8 months, like mentor, right? So talk, network with what everyone said. So I'm going to give you a little hint. Go talk to Mr. Unbreakable Bonds. Go talk to Paul. Go talk to Mitch. These guys are titans in their field. Go talk to me. What? I mean, I do career development for a living, and I could be like, I'm going to open a self-esteem coaching class. Done. So join syndicate.org, because when I was first year of business, I was like, I need a group of people. Ta-da! Group of people. Enjoy the ride. Just enjoy. It's a game, right? Business is a game. If you hate your first year of business, you're not going to do your second year. So have an intention to enjoy the ride. Work on what I said earlier, your elevator pitch, your 30-second elevator pitch. Know who you are. Practice that shit, right? Unique selling point. Why are you amazing? Why are you amazing? Why is your product amazing? Like, do the reps on that, right? Practice, and close a deal, period. Learn how to close a deal, close a deal. And I want to say, I lost a deal. It was a big deal this week, but I was like, no. You said no to me. I still want to pitch to your students. So I have free classes. So I want to do free classes. What is career development and career planning? Can I at least pitch to your students? He said, yes, but I got a fucking no this week. And I was like, we're not playing that game. We're going to play my game, because business is a game and you get to control the game. So that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's true. Business is a game. I agree on that. But some people take it too personally, and that's probably you have to realize from the beginning, don't take anything personally. So I would say, find a network of people that you can surround yourself with, and the syndicate is a perfect example of that. So join one of the networking events and see for yourself, because you have to get out there, that's what I'm trying to say, and just tell people what you do. And that's how by telling what you do, that's how you can practice your pitch, everything. So, and your why would be maybe not the same as the first few days. Your why would evolve in the 30 days period. So but you need to constantly get out there, cold calling, just and you wouldn't be able to accomplish everything in those 30 days period, but still it's a great start, and just get that confidence. So that's important.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I would stay as objective as possible with your business idea, because sometimes we get stuck in our heads, and sometimes we have awful business ideas that the market doesn't want, but we are hanging tightly emotionally onto it. And it kind of goes back to a different point, like getting a business coach early on can be really helpful. Be like, this kind of stinks, don't do it. And I think like objectivity into everything, like going back to what I do with beef jerky, there was a while we weren't making any money because our pricing and the costing was not working out. And we had to work out, well, what can the market afford? What do we need to budget in for the margin? And we had to really look at it objectively of like, what's this costing to make? and test it and see if the market is interested in it. Where if we had just stuck like, oh, I don't think they'll pay that much for it, we just would not make any money at it. So you need to be objective. The best way to do that, in my experience, is getting another set of eyes that can help you determine, are you stuck in the sunk cost fallacy? I've put this much money in, I need to get this much money out of it. Well, is it worth that much? Opportunity cost, I need to wait until I can get this much for what I'm offering. Is the market like willing to pay, or is that keeping you from moving on to more profitable exercises? Like, these are important concepts we need to weigh when we are selling and offering to the market, is just being objective and finding resources to help be objective with those things.
Mhm.
Sell, 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 whatever you've got to do, right? What did Matt say? Get on the phone, do it. Lorette's like, just go out and do it. Gordon, same thing. Shannon, the same thing. Yulia, the same thing. It's sell, 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 but also marketing. Marketing doesn't have to be complicated. Facebook, Instagram, do a quick page, keep posting. And that's a consistency. Keep putting it out, keep putting it out. And who's your market? Who's a low-hanging fruit? Who are the easy sells? Go after them. You want to pile some money in, low-hanging fruit, selling, 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 and putting out simple marketing, because I guarantee you your competition is not doing it consistently. And if you do it, it's going to pay off.
Mhm. Mm. All right, I'm going to tighten this up a little more for everybody here. We've heard marketing, we've heard sales, we've heard a little bit of cash flow management, we've heard business registration. That's our 30 days. Let's put a little more specific, a little more mechanic. So low-hanging fruit, that's finding the people that are most likely right now to buy for what might be the lowest price as well, or might be the quickest value to get a sale to go out there. Marketing can be as little as content, but you have to know what your audience is going to be, right? You have to have some sense of how you're going to pay the bills for the next 30 days too. If you start a business today because you lost your job and you have no money coming in, then you'd better make that money. You need to know how much the minimum amount is to get by. What's the minimum viable product? What's the minimum amount of cash it's going to take for you to keep a roof over your head and food in your belly? You got to have that sort of stuff. So let's narrow it down a little more, become a little more specific. And then we're going to close out the day by you guys talking through your business's first 30 days if you had to start one right now. Sound fair? So we got cash flow, we got sales, we got marketing, we got getting incorporated, and we got getting out to it. So let's give them a little more specific steps. Once again, I want this to be educational. This is free education. Get off your backside right now, incorporate, start to sell. Learn who to sell to. Then you even haven't picked your product, because your product will tell you who to sell to, right? Gordon sells beef jerky. Don't sell to vegans. Not going to work, right? Sell to truckers and football players and dudes going camping on the weekend and newly divorced single dads and God knows what else. Why? They're going to buy beef jerky. Don't sell to vegans. Doesn't mean vegans are wrong. It just means you're not going to sell beef jerky to vegans. They ain't going to buy it. Not going to happen. So with that in mind, let's get a little more specific.
Well, I'll go again quick, but first I want to challenge something that we've said quite a bit here. And although I subscribe to it, I need to challenge my thinking on it too. The whole aspect of you do business who you like, know, and trust. Is that true? Because how many of us have purchased hundreds, if not thousands of items from the A to Z from Amazon? You don't know those people, because you have to remember Amazon is a reseller. So you like their return policy. So it's convenience and the opportunity to give it back if needed. So the like, know, and trust, I'm conflicted because I subscribe to that. Like I still do love picking up the phone and actually talking to somebody. But half of the Amazon stores, you don't talk to anybody and try to return something if you do, right? So I just wanted to put that out there too as another talking point. But for myself, you know, to tighten up the whole calling scenario, you have to know who you're trying to attract. So I would say over the course of the weekend, before you start making your calls on Monday, you identify who those people are. And to speak to what Mitch just said, if you're beef jerky, don't sell to vegans, right? If you're doing software as a service, don't go to the Hutterites. Like it's some of those things where you need to identify who your customer base is. And to, I guess, to agree with Paul, the low-lying fruit is going to build the confidence that Yulia just talked about as well. So in business, it's about the momentum. So pick up the phone, make sure that it's going to be a yes, and then just repeat after repeat after repeat.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the most boring aspect of business, but it's the most essential. And I think it's what this comes down to. As an event producer, planner, marketer, administrative person, everything we do is based in research. We do SWOT analysis, right? Strengths, weaknesses, obstacles, threats, internal struggles, external struggles, the things that work for us, the things that don't work for us. And we get to know our competition. We get to know who our audience is. So we have to do research, like hours of research. And a lot of us hate to do research. But if you don't do all of these things, if you don't do your SWOT analysis for every one of your products or services, if you don't do your market research on your immediate competition, and then your country competition and your global competition, if you don't go out onto the interwebs and see who's doing what and what seems to be working, and who, you don't know what you're up against. You have no place, no starting point. You have to do your research. It's the first place to start. And I hate to say it, and I'm sorry, because I know it's boring and it sounds like that's not why I got into business. But if you don't do it, you're not going to be in business very long.
Great, because I was going to echo the same thing as Matt and the same thing as Shannon. So I taught labor market information this morning. So there is a theory behind business. Know it. Hey, by the way, Mitch's is the 4 block, which I said earlier. Mine is the theory of career development. There is a theory behind career development. There's a theory behind business. Learn, grow, move, right? Okay, boop. What is the theory of career development? Values. Values. That goes to Matt's know, like, and trust. We have values in life. We naturally inherently do them. We don't know them. Lots of people haven't had the 4 value point question. I have it all the time. I know if people know their values or not. But business, know your values, sell your values, know the values of your customers. Because by the way, business isn't about you. Business isn't about me. Nobody cares about me. I get that. They care about customers. How can you sell to your customers? What is the value of your customers? Is how I'm going to values. Know the theories behind it, understand people's values, have conversations. That's what I'm going to say.
I would say start to get to know your numbers from the start. So establish that whatever the low point, your product cost, whatever, if it's a service, know your bottom line and know your profitability margin, and also try to work it backwards. So once you establish all that, then you can go out there and provide that or tell about your service, your product to potential customers. So, and try also to establish some partnerships that you can benefit both, like with the partner and your company can benefit together. So that's very important also at the start. So partnerships is the way to go these days. So it's not about competition, sorry, my tongue is just today, not about competition, but about cooperation. So try to maybe start with that position in mind. So
So you got all of the research done, you're ready, you got your costs kind of figured out. So it's like, well, what's the next step, right? Sales. You got to get out there and you got to do it. So you've got your people, you've got your process, you got your tools, you have an understanding of that side. So it's, what are you going to do? How are you going to sell it? What's the outcome? How are you measuring? What are you doing now? And what are you going to add in the future? What are your costs going to be? Can you increase the price from there? So are you going to do direct sales? So that's you going out pounding the pavement. Are you going to do paid ads? How is that going to work? What kind of branding are you going to do for your particular product? And then you also have, your business development. What about your existing clients that you do get? Are you asking them for a referral? Are you asking them for a testimonial? Third party always sells better than you directly on that side. And then it's your client support. So by building that out, you can actually get more sales coming in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Have we solved all the world's problems today? No. Did we give somebody something that is a little more than what they had 50 minutes ago to get started? All right. Shake it out. Do some mental push-ups. You talked about a business idea at the beginning of our hour. You talked about a fast start in 72 hours. You talked about the last 30 minutes. You're going to have 2 minutes here shortly to walk through your business and what your first 30 days looks like. You're going, I didn't sign up for this. Yes, you did. You showed up on the call. Guess what? You're getting put on the spot. Why? Because this is now for the audience out there and for our live audience with us right now, and anybody that sees this in the future, anybody that grinds through to get to the, the 50-minute mark in the middle of our weekly virtual business box lunch. Business ain't pretty. It is not nice. It is chaos every single day for small to medium enterprise. No 2 days are the same. On this and in any number of other instances, speaking engagements I've had, other places I've talked in the past, I say business is iterative. It is not process driven. You have processes in business to make life easier, to make it simpler, to make an expectation show up. But business by itself cannot survive in a rigid process-driven system without feeling the effects of the marketplace conditions. Translation: this happens. I'm just gonna pick these up. It's got some flex in them. This happens every damn day, every minute, and every hour that your business is exposed to what's going on in the marketplace. There's no safe place to be. So if you're going to build your business to survive, it has to start the first 30 days because that practice is necessary. It is 100% empirically necessary to get your first 3 days, 30 days, and 6 months right. Why? Failure rates spike in the first 7 days, 30 days, 6 month, 14 month, 24 month, and 36 month marks. And it all happens for specific reasons. If you get the first 3 days right and you get your first 30 days in a good spot, and all you did was get your first 30 days right, your business likely could sustain indefinitely if you were sales focused first. That's it. Now, it's not going to grow anywhere, but it's going to survive. Might pay your bills, might put food in your belly. And then as you get smarter with your business, it allows itself to do more. And as you get smarter, you can do more with your business, and therefore it can expand and grow. Talk about things like employees. Nobody here has said one time, I'd scrape together enough money and hire somebody immediately to help me. Nobody here has said, I will go find a partner. We did say we'd go get into our networks, but nobody said yet I'd go find a partner. Isn't that interesting? And not because it's right or wrong or because nobody made a mistake here, but sometimes having somebody with you is good because you got accountability, or that person can make up for shortcomings. It's not, again, the perfect formula for business doesn't mean you have a partner. But that is also one way to attack this. Go find somebody with money that can help you afford the next 90 days. There are many paths to take for success, but there are absolutes that must be done for businesses to survive. So now that you're thinking about that, your business, your first 3 days, your first 30 days, map out your first 30 days. Let's give people a run through. We have up to a minute apiece, max. But I'd like it to be quicker than that, because it should be really simplistic. Mental X says it again, there's no right or wrong answers. But business happens in real time, and I'm putting you on the spot in real time to answer some of the things that you're trying to question for your own business. And more importantly, other people are going, where do I even find this? Because that's also not easy either. Fair? All right. Stretch it out, roll our shoulders, do some mental push-ups. All right. Paul, kick us off.
Okay, I started off with solar, so I'm going to have my supply line already straightened out. I'm going to have my name going, corporation, website up and rolling, and I'm going to be going out and selling it. I'm going to be going out and getting the deals.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going to for deals?
I'm going to the people that can actually afford it. I'm going to go to the neighborhoods. I'm going to niche down to the neighborhoods that can and want it. And if I have to go door knock, I door knock. And one of the easiest ways is once I get a sale, I put out a little sign. Because now that's advertising 24/7 for me.
Mm-hmm. All right, there we go. Good stuff. Shan, you're up.
Well, I decided to delve into the world of hydrogen. So, so mine's not as easy as solar. I need a lab, I need a production facility, I need partners. A lot of oil and gas is actually putting money into the research and development. So I need those partners and collaborators to come on board. And I'm always focused on the auto industry. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm all about the cars. So I'm reaching out to, well, Ford's got their new pickup truck coming out, right? They've got, who else has just made announcements? So anyway, I'm reaching out to the big companies to say, hey, you need our hydrogen. I'm going to be doing something in our hydrogen field that is different than what everybody else is doing. I don't know what that is right now, but I would develop that, find a way to make it more powerful, easier to produce, faster to produce our hydrogen, whatever. And I'm taking that straight out to the auto industry because that's the low-hanging fruit in the hydrogen business.
All right, good stuff. Ambitious large business. Yulia, what you got?
Well, mine was social enterprise, so it's I would say there's few things. Obviously, I don't know. I mean, starting from the beginning to like later in there, because I didn't really catch the question. Though was I'm asking what was the question exactly?
Okay, you created your own theme or your own idea for a business to start with, and now I want you to go through the mechanics of what your first 30 days would look like. Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously registration, you need to do research, you need to, well, establish some business plan, but it's not like 100% needed. You need to find the support in terms of either investors or some people that can, or lending funds. So because it's social enterprise, and you need to hire some people potentially, so, and go kick the ass down the road. But obviously it just some of the steps, there's way more than that. So
Fantastic, Yulia, thank you very much. Gord, what you got?
First 30 days. So first 3 days, yeah, make sure registration is done, website, like basic social media pages are like at least registered, the bank account. And then for the rest of the 30 days, because I was talking about a SaaS, like web online type business, I think I would have to find, I would hire a marketing company to take care of my online, to take care of sales, basically, to run my social media, paid ads, make sure I'm ranking, get in front of people, because my business can scale and can take those sales quick. Possibly, if I'm looking at a real intense software development, I might need some kind of tech co-founder, or I need to raise capital in order to build that software and tech. So that might be a tech co-founder or some kind of like Kickstarter front funder, which would also help, maybe proof of concept, like show that people are interested in it, to be able to build that. But that would probably be my goal, is like make sure my marketing is taken care of so I can get sales, and then make sure I can actually build the service I want to sell, the software that I want to sell as a service.
All right, Laurette, what you got?
I've been consistent the entire time and said the same thing each time. So third time's the charm. Register your business. 30-second elevator pitch. Know what you're selling, right? Like, hey, this is how I'm going to introduce myself to people. Unique selling proposition. So if I'm doing self-esteem coaching, hey, I make your subconscious competent, and close the deal, right? So my question, my close the deal statement is, would you like to work on your self-esteem? Yes or no, right? Yes, woo, got a deal. No, you know what? There's other wins besides money, which is time, right? Time in. So they said no. You know what? How about we have another conversation or another coffee next week? I'd be open to that. Win, right? So even when you lose in business, you can still win if you change the narrative. That's what I wanted to say.
Matt?
I would do a couple of things. First, I'd pick this up and just drive through all 19 points, because that is, in effect, is what you should be reviewing every week for your entire career. Second to that, everything else would have already been done, from the registration and all of that. What I would do is I would set up one-on-one meetings with the people that were in this room, because I would be in the adventure and freedom space. So in order to do that, I need some strategic partnerships. I'd go to the ski hills, I'd go to the RV parks, but I'd also look at Paul going, hey, I need some solar so that I can go completely off grid. And I'm going to want to make sure that this mobile home can be powered. I looked at Gordon and say, hey, I might need some software in order to develop a customer base. Maybe I want to get into the rental market. Maybe I want to, not just sell these vans. Maybe I want to hold them and create an asset opportunity. I talked to Lorette to say, well, listen, my customer may want to look at becoming a digital nomad and may need some career advice. And maybe they'll make a change. And all of you can become ambassadors and marketing initiatives for my company. And all I've had is some internal conversations.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Seconds.
Love it. All right. We are at 1:00 Friday, March 11th. Gordon, your first virtual business box lunch is in the can. Brother, thanks for joining the audience today. Every Friday we go live. Actually, next Friday we won't be live. This is one of the rare occasions where we're going to be off. MCC, the boys and I, we're going to be having a pint on St. Paddy's Day on Friday. Matt and I will be with a client at noontime, checking out their stuff on the floor of an actual trade show. This is going to be lots of fun as well. So we're not going to be with you guys. We're going to come back to you here in 2 weeks' time as well. But as always, the MCC Virtual Business Box Lunch is here for you as a resource. Yeah, I get to talk and everybody else gets to talk, and we get to feel like we sound smarter or we are smarter depending on the day and what the topic is and how much of an expert we are. But we're here to help. We're here to provide information to the best of our ability. And more than that, we got a lot of years of experience. This call alone has decades of business experience represented right now. There's sales, marketing, staffing, career development. There's real estate. There's restaurant, food service. Shit, I've worked with almost 500 companies. By the way, boys, we're changing those numbers on my bio, by the way. The last year or so, it's been heavy duty. We're creeping up on 500 companies. Oh, that hurts the insides a little bit. So we've had lots of experience here, and we're trying to pass that along to you in a way that makes best sense. We don't want to talk over your head. We don't want to talk underneath you. We want to talk right to you. We want this to be live. That's why we say bad words. We are real people just like you. We deal with the same things you do. We deal with sales problems and cash flow problems and hiring problems and all those other things. We just happen to be cleverer because of our business and our practice at solving those problems faster. And of course, in some of us, Matt and Paul and I, our case, we literally get paid to fix them for you. So on behalf of Gord, Lorette, Yulia, Shannon, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. And you guys, thanks for coming into the group. As always, Matt and Paul, my brothers from other mothers. Every Friday is an adventure because it means we get to spend time together just talking about business, something we love. And of course, I'm Mitch Camage. I'm your broker of certainty today. Normally it says Savage in Business, but today it says broker of certainty. This is the VBBL, March 11th, 2022. And we will see you next time when we come to you live. And if you see this at some point in the future, all hail our robot overlords. And don't forget, class warfare, good idea or great idea? Thank you for joining us today. We will see you guys next